Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are back. This is episode 3 of the Pantry Boys here with Nicky Meats. We like talking food. The listeners like talking food. We like eating food, enjoying food. And that's what brings us here today, Nicky Meats, to talk food.
You know what, Bob? There's something in the air today, and you could really feel that today's guest is going to bring something different. And listen, we could be wrong. We could be
wrong.
We could be completely off the mark. But I
Could be
think the guy we
wrong.
got coming in to give the first take at today's episode is going to give a phenomenal take. He seems like he speaks the language, but kind of in a different way. You know what I mean?
Today we got KFC from Barstool Sports, one of the founders of Barstool Sports, and
Founding father.
I mean it when I say it, Nicky Meats. I think this is a guy who will absolutely have some good food takes,
Yeah.
who knows foods, and we like to coordinate guests. Like even when we started doing this, we even mapped out KFC and said he's got to have a good food take.
Yeah, exactly. And for something like this, like a podcast like this, you need the guys that get it, because some
Yes.
guys, they don't get it. And when the worst thing you could possibly do, and something we'll never do on this podcast, is bring on a guy or girl that just doesn't get it. Because then
Totally.
it takes away from the entire experience of even bringing them on. Because like I was actually telling Kevin, I said, like, I could talk about the wrapper from like a deli, the way they wrap the sandwich for hours, and he understood it. And if you could get someone who could really speak the language, like I was saying, it's a home run. So I'm thinking he speaks the language. I've seen a couple of stories about the peanut butter, how he scoops the peanut butter.
Yep. Which leads you to believe he does speak the language for sure. I mean,
Yes.
look, he may not speak the language, Nicky Meats. He may not. That's the thing. We
I'd
never
be very
know here on the
shocked. I know,
program.
but I'd be very shocked if he comes in and just gives an absolutely dreadful take.
I'd be shocked. Now on the
I
Instagram
would
live,
be so disappointed.
you have called it out too, in the sense of you've called out people that speak the language. Todd Frazier,
Oh
who's
my God.
exceptional.
Todd is something else. I mean, Todd. I feel like there's tiers. Like, I feel like you get people who really enjoy food, and you get people who like see food a little bit differently when they go to a
Totally.
restaurant. And
Totally.
then you get guys like Todd Frazier, who are just a cut above everything else. Even Logan O'Hoppe, when we brought O'Hoppe on, he was phenomenal too.
Logan
because-
O'Hoppe, you called that out. You called me. You said, "Look, you got to see this Logan guy.
Yeah,
He speaks the language."
and he absolutely did.
That you talk about a guy that just loves food. He came on.
Yeah.
He absolutely spoke the language.
Yeah.
And I thought he was incredible.
And you know what he did too yesterday while we're on the topic? He went back home for dinner after they played I think a 6-game series, and he FaceTimed me. And he goes, "I knew you would appreciate this." And he FaceTimed me and showed me the whole spread that he had going on back at home. That's a guy that you keep around for a long time. Okay. Talk about a guy. Go ahead.
Even the amount of times me and you have FaceTimed each other over what we're having for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, different spreads, different. You go out to eat, you get different things.
They had lobster claws, Bob. They had lobster claws and Australian Wagyu beef. And the fact,
was this just a regular night for him?
Just a regular night for the family. Just a regular night for the family. And the fact that he even thought to FaceTime me because he knew I would appreciate it, it just warms my heart.
Well, without further ado, Nicky Meats, let's bring on the big fella himself. We set the bar high for him now.
We did. We very much
want
did.
energy. We want passion
energy.
about food. I think we're going to get it here.
I think we are.
KFC from Barstool Sports. There's Mr. Kevin Clancy, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, baby.
There he is. Look
baby.
at this guy.
Look at this.
How we doing, fellas?
There he is. You know, I got to tell you, KFC, we really set the bar high for you.
Oh, fuck. What are you doing? My whole mantra in life is keep the bar low.
We did. We did. And we even said it's not fair to you.
No, it's not at all. It's not.
Now whatsoever. And now, Kevin, you have an idea of what we're doing here. And we would like to think that you're a food guy. Something that really caught my eye before we go into your take that I actually thought was brilliant that I saw on your story. And I think you were making it for your kids. You ran out of chicken patties.
Yeah, that was nuts.
So what he did to innovate, did you see this?
Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah.
Innovate.
Bob, this is not for my kids. That was for me. Those are nuggets that I recreate chicken patty day from elementary school. I organize them to be a patty, and I put a little mustard and ketchup on like I used to do in the cafeteria, and I have myself a chicken patty sandwich comprised of chicken nuggets. And if you got a problem with that, Casano,
No.
you got a problem with
I don't got a problem. I don't got a problem. I actually was going to say there was nothing like chicken patty day in elementary school. It was the greatest day when the teacher would take your order for lunch and she said the words chicken patty. I mean, it was just like today's going to be a good day.
And
you know what I mean?
These people coming at me saying pizza day, those cardboard frozen pizzas.
Bro, pizza day.
Suck.
Oh, the pizza sucked. I mean,
and you know what, too? You hit every part of the bread. You did.
Yeah.
You filled the bread with the chicken nuggets. Every part of the bread.
I'm so happy.
Every part.
I'm so happy you noticed that, and I got credit for it. I shit you not. I put them this way, and I was like, no, wait, this one's curved. So I put that there. I can fit this nugget in like a puzzle.
Yep. Like exactly a puzzle. He wasn't going to take a bite of that sandwich without getting at least a little bit of a chicken tender on his palate.
These guys know.
And he did it on purpose. And I saw it, and I said, you know what? This is why we're having him on, because he knows what the fuck.
I agree, Meats. I saw that, and I said, I got very excited. You know, sometimes you get a hamburger, and you get way too much bread.
And you get all bread. And you get a little sliver of the fucking cheese.
How about when you get like an Italian combo or something with a lot of meats, right? How about when they open the bread so that it's just totally flat, and they lay everything on there and then fold it up so that this half has the cheese and this half and you don't get a good mix in of everything.
And then what happens? KFC, is when you take a bite of that sandwich, okay? 9 times out of 10, the cured meats are coming out the side of the sandwich. It's coming out the side of the sandwich. You got to eat it almost as if like you're eating like a burrito or something.
Yes.
Not a burrito, like something where you like fucking corn. Like you have to attack it from that angle, because otherwise it's like having a hamburger that's got too much meat on it. It's going to shoot right out of the ass.
You need a good cross section. When I cut that sandwich in the middle, I need to have it be meats, condiments, tomatoes, toppings, all that.
I mean, he's talking like a pro, Bob. He really is.
I know what I'm doing.
No, he's talking like a pro.
And you know what? There are times where you get too much of a meaty bite. That's not crazy to say.
Yeah. I know everyone likes to get a big bang for their buck, but some of these delis, God bless them, save some ham for the next guy. There are kids who are starving. It's like, you know, I need like a few slices of cheese. I need like maybe an inch of meat. These people who have, you know, like this much, I end up taking huge handfuls of cured meats and throwing them on the plate.
You're so right. You're so right.
Crazy. Mates.
No, you're so right. This guy.
Was he ready for this? Or
no, he was ready. He was born ready. Yeah, he was born ready. I mean, talk about a guy who gets on and just fucking didn't even give his take yet, and he's just fucking ripping.
So ready. He's one of us. He speaks the language. KFC, your time to shine, big fella. Hot or cold take on food, something you like, something that bothers you, question. It's all yours.
Funny, because I was like, I don't know. What do I think? And then I'm like, wait a minute, I talk about food all the time. And like food's the only thing so at first I was like, I don't think I have anything. And then you ever go to the Cheesecake Factory or your local diner and there's so many things on the menu, you get paralyzed?
Yes.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, do I go with donuts? Do I go with tacos? Do I go with pizza? Like I have a million things.
I'm excited.
But what I'm going to say right now, this is something that I've thought for many years, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. I think it's a bad, you know, a thing in the food world I don't like.
Okay.
When you're at a restaurant and you order the fucking fajitas and they come out on a 6,000 degree skillet with the you put your plate down. It's like you're at a 4-alarm blaze. I got to call the fire department. I'm inhaling smoke. I'm ready to stop, drop, and roll. I'm ready to get low so that I can breathe, because they taught me in elementary school that the smoke rises to the top. And then on top of that, I've got to make my own thing.
Yeah.
As we know, 650 degrees. Don't touch the plate.
Don't touch the plate.
Also, don't touch the magma molten hot onions. And then I got to make it myself. I'm at the restaurant for you to take care of all of that in the back. And
it's obnoxious.
A normal,
also,
normal temperature made meal for me.
And you know what, too? It totally disrupts the entire flow.
Fucks everything up. It fucks
Everybody
everything.
stops what they're doing.
Oh, it's crazy.
Conversations
And
come
by
to
the way,
a halt.
it's not, you know, everybody's favorite thing to have onions and peppers in the air.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're
Yeah.
just bringing out ice cream. I swear to God, I feel like I'm at the club, like I'm one of these schmucks who buys, you know, the bottles with the sparklers. They're like, watch out. Watch out. We got Kevin Clancy's fucking fajitas come. Everybody's looking at you.
And not only,
And you're like, don't let it touch me.
and you hit it right on the head. Not only is it the most obnoxious fucking thing you could order on the menu, but it's stinking up the whole place.
For
It's
sure.
stinking up the whole joint. It really is. And I 100% agree. It's the most
And-
obnoxious thing.
My thing, I guess I could expand this into a larger take about Mexican food. While I love it, it's all the same shit, really. You know, it's like it's all meat and cheese.
yes.
No, but in a good way, But I'm saying that like this way you have the meat, the cheese on the inside. This way on the outside. This is big.
Yes.
And so when I order tacos, you don't bring it out at 1500 degrees. When I order a burrito, I don't have to wrap my own ingredients. Why the fajitas? Why did the fajitas come half done and 2000 degrees?
But you know what's interesting with the fajitas, and I'm so glad we're talking fajitas.
It's a phenomenal take.
Phenomenal.
It's a
Because
phenomenal take.
what's amazing is while the fajitas are coming out, while they're being walked over to you, you would think this steam is never going to end.
Right.
It's never going to slow down.
end.
Once it hits the table,
Gone.
it's gone.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
You got about a minute. You got a couple seconds of it wafting, and then it just
Yeah, go.
it's like a sparkler. It just
It's
burns
just-
hot right and then
They
disappears.
got a mind of their own.
And I also think too, like when you go to a hibachi place, like you know what you're gonna get. Like you know
Yeah.
that the guy's gonna cook in front of you. They're gonna throw the shit in your mouth from across the table. But when you go to a Mexican place and they don't forewarn you that the fajitas are gonna come out on the skillet. So you order the fajitas thinking it's like everything else. All of a sudden,
No.
3 people come out and with the sizzling plate and like, what the fuck is going on? What
Trying
is
to
this?
keep a low profile. You just want to
Yeah.
get some fucking
Yeah, and here
some
comes
onions
the
and peppers.
asshole that ordered the fajitas, and it's like, wait, is this guy serious? Is he really gonna do all this?
And it's not enough of it's like at the end of the day, it's like I said, just all these Mexican dishes are relatively the same. So you're not even like, oh wow, he ordered the fancy,
Right.
like,
It's
the
like,
$200 entree. It's like, no, this is just a schmuck eating fajitas. You know, like the same thing. Imagine if they did the same thing for like cheese quesadillas. If it was like,
Yeah.
we got the quesadillas coming through.
Everything
Oh, watch
coming out is just, and the whole restaurant
the
is on.
whole restaurant.
Everyone's
Everybody.
watching.
But
The
you
whole
know what
restaurant.
I really like that you said though, and some may see it as a hot take, but like it is true
Get
with
it-
all
get it, hot
Mexican.
take?
Yeah. With all Mexican food being the same, where I would go with that is the appetizers at a Mexican restaurant are the same thing as the entrees.
Right. It's like you're gonna get some chicken and cheese or some steak and cheese wrapped into this and that thing, and
Yeah.
then you get one that's a little
Tostadas.
bigger. Yeah.
But hey, I'm not complaining. To be honest,
No,
I ain't complaining. I
No,
ain't complaining.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna spiral into all my Mexican takes because one, I think it's crazy to pay like top dollar for Mexican food because I'm just as happy going to Taco Bell because again, it's all just melted cheeses.
You
And
see,
like,
I disagree with that a little bit there. I
I
do.
mean, of course, you can get, let's say this. The difference between, I'm sure there's like top end, right?
Hey, yes.
But the difference between like Taco Bell and your average, I watch these schmucks in Manhattan. They go to blockheads and they're paying, legit like 5 times the price that they should for
Yes.
something that's essentially Taco Bell. So that's a little crazy. What was my other? I had another one. There's the fajitas. There's too much money. There's one other. I have another big Mexican food take that's brewing and it's gonna come.
We're ready for it. We're ready.
And
For it.
the
I mean,
expensive.
What did you? Oh, my brain gets going on the Mexican food, and I like running down a hill.
I gotta tell you, I've never seen someone so passionate about
Yeah,
Mexican.
it's good.
I love it. No, I love it. I think it's phenomenal. I really do.
It's
I
a
think it's
really,
awesome.
to me, I could eat it. I'm on a taco kick right now. I did this
Please,
during
you
the pandemic.
Yeah.
I ate tacos. I think it was 51 nights in a row.
Come on.
And
Swear to
that's,
God,
a,
dude.
that's a little
It was
obnoxious.
like high 40s, low 50s. I make like 2 pounds of meat in the beginning of the week, and I make homemade cheesy gordita crunches. I melt the cheese on the tortilla. I put the hard shell in, wrap it all up. Oh, this was it. This was my other take. I feel like this is not necessarily Mexican food, but this condiment heavily in the Mexican world. Most underrated condiment out there, sour cream.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
agree.
I love it. I love it.
Like I don't. Sometimes I don't want the taco if I can't go supreme.
I'm gonna get worked up because I'm really passionate about this.
I gotta tell you, my girlfriend makes fajitas. She does do the fajitas. There was one night where we didn't have sour cream.
Not the same. Not the same.
Just changed it. And such an underrated. I think there are a lot of things out there that you could do with sour cream that we haven't even figured out yet.
Yes,
sour cream. I've been saying this. I've been saying this for years. Sour cream is the most amazing condiment that we have. It's versatile. You want to take a sizzling hot fajita, like they come out in 600 degrees, okay, and you dip it in the sour cream. That like the way they complement each other.
Hot and cold.
Thing. It's I make eggs sometimes. The eggs are overcooking. I throw a little sour cream in there, and I solve all those problems.
I was whipping up some mashed potatoes. I said, you know what? Why not a little
sour cream?
You do sour cream? It's the one condiment that you use the word dollop. Give me a dollop of that.
Give me the dollop of the sour cream.
Sour cream makes everything a little better.
Dollop of the sour cream.
You don't sound like a jackass either. If you ask for
you don't.
salsa,
perfect sense.
You're a jerk off.
If I said, give me a dollop of mayonnaise, like what? Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? Give me a dollop of ketchup.
No. What I do want to close on that I got one more question here for you, KFC, and I like how you came on. You said we're going to talk Mexican and we're going to hammer at that, and that's exactly
did nothing but that. That's exactly what you did.
Yeah, and I like that route. My last question for you: chips and salsa. Do you like a thin chip or do you like a thin chip?
I like. Let's see.
Can we backtrack real quick? What the fuck did you just say? You said, do you like a thin chip or a
thin chip?
You gave him two of the same thing.
I thought you were fucking with me. I didn't know if this was some sort of. I was like, I'm just gonna answer the question. I'm not gonna get played.
You like a thick or a thin chip, and then I'll double down thick or restaurant style salsa.
Yeah. So what I don't like is when they give you a restaurant style sauce is the watery one, right?
Yeah. Yes. In my opinion, yes.
So when they give the watery salsa with a chip that's like this fucking big, I don't like it. I think like when Tostitos made the scoops or Tostitos made the small round ones, I like those a lot better because also there's a lot more to the scoop. But with the bigger chip, the restaurant style chips, occasionally you get the folded over chip. I love the Dorito.
You are a genius.
Fold over.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The folded over. That was that. Kevin, that was a 1 in a million thing that you just said. No one thinks about the folded over chip. That folded over chip. Every time it's just a slight little fuck. That's a good chip.
You know what the folded over chip is?
Yeah.
The folded over chip is like a bubble on the crust of your pizza.
Oh my god!
That bring you happiness.
He's rolling today.
You get the folded over chip, or you get the bubble on your pizza, or when you're a little kid, you get the slice of cake that has like the flour on it.
All my god!
Things that make the meal that much better. You know.
I think if you're gonna do a thick chip, it's got to be matched by chunky salsa.
But the folded over chip,
thin chip goes to the restaurant style where it's the thin salsa, you see like a watery type salsa.
But the thing about the folded over chip, I'm not letting this one go.
The
folded over chip creates that circle. You know what I mean? And you dip it, you almost come inside. You shovel it in, Kevin. That's what you do. You take the folded over chip, you shove it in, and it's just it's a wonderful experience. I pray. You know what they should do? They should make folded over chips. They should take all the folded over chips and put them in a fucking bag.
Although I will say,
$1 million idea.
So part of it is the
you know what? You're right.
Fold it over.
It's like a 4-leaf clover. It's like a 4-leaf clover.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like Lucky Charms selling just the marshmallows.
Yes. I was just about to bring this up. What Lucky Charms needs to do is make a bag that has about 50% more, but not too much.
I mean, this guy's a genius. I mean,
let's do 75% marshmallow.
I almost think that's too much. I would say 60%. I think 60-40 is a good number. I think
I'm going closer to Bob because you're in shape and you don't want all those marshmallows. We get it. give me enough, but not too many. And that is like the perfect heaven. Same thing with the chips. We get more of the chips.
Yes.
Can I tell you the dumbest thing? There's a few things in my career that jump out at me as the dumbest moments of my career. And this was the most recent one. But I wasn't alone. There was enough people. So a lot of people were calling me dumb, but there was enough people quietly being like, yo, I'm with you. I just never made the connection that tortilla chips were made from tortillas. Like I never thought the fact that they just cut little triangles out of your floppy little tortilla and cooked them up. I just thought it was like, they're nacho chips, they're tortilla chips, they're taco chips, they're just Mexican chips. I never thought about them sitting there cutting little triangles and this floppy little soft bread thing all of a sudden became this delicious crunchy chip. Yeah, I just couldn't put it together that tortillas were made from tortillas.
Is that, I mean, this could be a very bad.
I mean, Kevin,
for me, is that how it's, is it the tortilla?
You guys didn't know either?
I know. I mean, I knew that.
Did you not know that?
I didn't know that.
Hey, we're not alone.
Yeah, and maybe not even know that.
This
not even think about
this
that.
This is a bad look for us, Bob.
It was like,
it is.
No, it's a bad look for us.
I understood it. No, we're not alone. We are not alone, Nick. I swear to God. It's not that I didn't, like, when someone told it to me, I wasn't like, no, that's not true. It was just like, oh, I have never even thought about where these come from. Like, yeah, for whatever reason, potato.
But where did you think they came from?
You know, they come from the potato. But the tortilla never made the connection. But yeah,
where do you think they got them from?
I just thought they were their own.
You just didn't think. You just okay. Well, oh, that's fair.
Then here's where I'm confused.
That's fair. That's fair.
If you do want to get a thin chip, do you have to get a thin tortilla?
Tortilla.
Probably, yeah. And that's when you can like almost see through them. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But also, like a step further, are Doritos tortilla chips dressed up, or are they their own thing? Just cut into
I would
triangles?
think that's got it.
I think they do a little bit of magic to the Doritos.
Yeah,
I don't think a Dorito is 100% tortilla. You go to a very authentic Mexican restaurant. I mean, that's 100% tortilla.
You know that they're just chopping them. And
they got someone back there, bang, putting them in the fryer. The Dorito, you know, there's a little bit else going on in there.
But Bob, I swear, we're not alone, man. It's not that we don't get it; it's just that we never even
thought about it.
Right, yeah, and that's where I sit with it. I have not thought about it. I was probably too busy watching fucking fajitas come out while I was trying to figure out the fucking tortilla chip.
Unbelievable. KFC,
I gotta tell you,
you come in. I mean, you just gave a 1 in a million kind of take.
I'm just happy you gave me the platform to speak.
Yeah, and KFC, I will say, your episode 3 for the other guests. I mean, thank God you weren't one.
Yeah, no, because it would have been tough. No,
I mean, you told me the bar was high, and so I had to deliver.
And he took that bar and he just raised it up over one notch.
You know,
I mean, he really did.
What, Nicky Meats, you've been on KFC show, KFC radio. I've had him on the Brilliant Dumb show.
We got to get you in, Bob. We got to get you on.
Absolutely. As soon as I hit the East Coast, I'm there. And I will say, what we love about you, it's like no matter what podcast, what show you're come on, you know you're getting 1,000%, and we love you. I know.
Honestly,
we really do.
Unbelievable from the bottom of our hearts. Seriously, thank you very much. I mean,
love you. We appreciate you, brother. And again, until next time, our guy.
I got 1,000 more, so I will be. I'll be on the.
Oh, you'll be back
less than like 2,000 times. Yeah,
for sure.
Hey, we appreciate you, brother. KFC, thanks for coming on, buddy.
You're the man.
Have a good one, boys.
Take care. All right, Nicky Meats. There you have it. KFC, Barstool Sports. But let's get down to brass tacks, Nicky Meats. Me and you, mano y mano. You give a take, I give a take. You give a take, I give a take. To close this sucker down, let it rip. Nicky Meats, start us off good, start us off right.
Oh, I'm gonna start you off good and right at the same time, Bob. I'm gonna go right at the sweet tooth. Okay.
Starting with the sweet tooth. I like that.
I'm gonna attack the sweet tooth real quick because I know you're a sweet guy over Savory. We've had that conversation before. And so it got me thinking, and I want to hear from you because I have my answers. I know what my answers are, and quite frankly, I'm very proud of the answers that I've come up with. But I want to pick your brain on what you think the most overrated dessert is. And it doesn't have to be at a restaurant. It could be literally anything that falls under the dessert category.
Yep.
And following that up, I want the most underrated dessert that you think is out there.
I love the question. I love starting off with the sweet tooth. I really do.
It was a great way to start. It's a great way to start.
I would say the most overrated dessert. I think it is all for show. I don't think it gets the job done. I think it looks nice on paper, doesn't get the job done.
Talk to me.
Chocolate covered strawberries. I just think it's all for show. Don't get me wrong. I like the chocolate. I just don't think the strawberry and the chocolate really mesh together that well.
You know what it is too about the chocolate covered strawberry? And you hit it right on the head. It's a great concept. Like, it's a great idea.
Fantastic.
When someone brings over the box of the chocolate covered strawberries, you automatically get excited. Like, you're automatically like, yeah, like, fuck yeah, I'm going to eat 3 or 4 of these. But then you take a bite of the first strawberry, and it's kind of like deflating a balloon. Like, it just like sucks the fun. No, it sucks the fun out of everything. You take a bite, you got a piece of chocolate coming off the side of your mouth. It's either with the chocolate covered strawberry, it's a one bite thing.
And you know what though means? I don't mind it if it's messy. Fine, we're okay with that. But be good messy. And you know what? Not to say that. Yeah, I just think it's all for show. It's a very romantic dessert. So I think it's ordered often. I think it looks good on paper, but when you get down to it, not nuts about the chocolate covered strawberry.
Yeah.
And what I would say for the most underrated.
Wait, hold on. I got to add one thing about the chocolate.
Sure.
When you take a bite of a chocolate covered strawberry, okay, this is the move you do every time. You put your hand underneath, and it's one of these. That's what do 5 sets with me, okay?
Well, you gotta survey for the drippage. It's gonna go everywhere.
Or you're gonna take a bite and it's dragging. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of these, right?
Yes.
Okay. And for me, that's it. I don't want to have to worry about where the chocolate's going, because 9 times out of 10, you're eating a chocolate covered strawberry. You probably got a nice outfit on. Okay.
And if you're going to ruin an outfit, do it over something that really just rocks your palate's world. And to me, the chocolate and the strawberry,
it's not going to rock your palate.
Not going to rock your palate.
It's not going to rock your palate.
And Nicky Meats here on the Pantry Boys, we want to have our palates
rocked. I want my palate fucking rocked. Okay. And the chocolate covered strawberry ain't rocking my palate, Bob.
I'm gonna go for something that does rock my palate for the most underrated. Now, look, people love it. It's talked about a lot, but the reason that I'm going underrated, if I'm out to dinner, you're not going to find it on the dessert menu. You'll have it with ice cream, but it's not just by itself.
I know where it's coming.
Give me the pride and joy. Give me the gold standard. That is what, Nicky Meats?
Well, now I don't know. Is it what I'm thinking a chipwich. You ever had a chipwich?
Oh, fucking A. Oh.
The chipwich is a great fucking dessert.
See, I was going to go chocolate chip cookie. If I could do it again, I would have gone chipwich, which is...
It's the best of both worlds. It's the best of both worlds.
God, that is so fucking good.
The chipwich is the best of both worlds.
Have you ever had a chipwich that missed?
I can't think of a chipwich that ever missed. And you know what it is too? You know, you ever had the flying saucers too? You ever have a flying saucer from Baskin Robbins? The flying saucer. I mean, you take out that plastic thing and you got 6 or 12 of them in there. I mean, just the look of how they're packaged lights me up, Bob.
Chipwiches are good homemade chipwiches. Chipwiches are good from the ice cream truck out of the package. You go to the grocery store, you could get chipwiches. I would have gone chipwich. And Meats, the bottom line is, this is why we do it. It's why we do it.
Exactly why we do it. And without dragging this further along, I just got to get my 2 takes in there because I think they're valuable. The most overrated dessert in my mind. And it just, honestly, it borderline pisses me off, okay? How much people think it's like it's a great thing. I think the macaroon is the most ridiculous dessert.
Yeah,
I think the macaroon is the most wildly obnoxious dessert.
You're hot today.
Have you ever, I feel hot. Have you ever taken a bite of a macaroon and said, wow, that's fucking great? But have you taken a bite of a chipwich?
Like you're biting into a cloud. You don't get.
It's like you're biting into a cloud, and the taste is like, what are we doing? Why did I just spend $12 on 3 macaroons?
And you know
Bothers
what?
the shit out of me.
By the way, another dessert that looks good on paper.
It looks good on paper.
Looks great on paper.
Looks great on paper. It's right up there with the chocolate strawberry. And for the underrated, I don't think anyone has ever said this word in the past 3 years. But to me, they hold a special place in my heart because I think they're the most underrated dessert known to man. And you probably can't get them at a restaurant. But let me tell you something. If I ever go to a restaurant and this item is on the menu, I'm tipping a waitress 40%. You know what I'm talking about, Bob?
No.
I'm talking about the whoopie pie. You ever have a whoopie pie, Bob?
What the hell? What restaurant are you going to that you're seeing a whoopie pie at?
You ever have a whoopie pie, Bob?
Never had a whoopie pie. I've had a chipwich, not a whoopie pie.
A whoopie pie. Okay, a whoopie pie is like a caked up Oreo. That's what a whoopie pie is. It's
Talk
like
dirty to me.
It's like a cake, okay, on the bottom and the top, right? It looks just like an Oreo, and on the inside, it's got like a soft cream filling. It's like a donut sandwich. Like it's like I don't know how to describe it.
Okay, the way you're describing it, maybe I just have chipwiches in my head. I'm kind of seeing like
no ice cream involved in the a cake style chipwich.
A cake style chipwich.
Yes.
And on the menu meats, is it labeled as the
whoopie pie? Yeah, I think so. Well, they make them at Trader Joe's. Actually, Trader Joe's makes a phenomenal whoopie pie.
See, if that Trader Joe's, you would think that I would know.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of shocked when you gave me that look when I
never heard of the whoopie pie.
You know, the whoopie pie. Let me tell you something about the whoopie pie. The whoopie and they got red velvet, they got chocolate. It's basically like a cupcake. That's the word I was looking for. It's like the bottom of a cupcake, right? But it's a sandwich, and inside, instead of having the frosting on top of the cupcake,
in
the middle. It's in the middle.
It's a cake chipwich without being a chipwich, without ice cream.
Yes.
It's like a cupcakes version of a chipwich.
Of a chipwich.
Of a chipwich.
Yeah, it's a cupcake chipwich.
Good start right out of the gates.
Phenomenal start.
I'll keep an eye for the whoopie pie, especially in Trader Joe's.
Yeah, you have to.
Nicky Meats, I want to throw it back to dinner now.
Oh,
let's do dinner, okay? You go to a steakhouse, nice steakhouse, okay? Mm-hmm. You get 2 sides with that steak. Give me those 2 sides.
Well, I mean, first of all, talk about a phenomenal. I mean,
gotta have it there.
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you could tell a lot. I always tell people if you want to know something about someone, if you want to get to know the kind of person they is, you could either do 2 things. One, you can look inside their fridge and see what kind of water they got going on, what kind of ice cream is in there in the freezer. Because if they're driving an Audi and you go into their house, okay, and they got the store-bought ice cream, they ain't got Haagen-Dazs, that tells you something, okay?
Haagen-Dazs is the premier of
if they got Deer Park water.
Bad news.
Not a good water.
Not a good water.
Not a great water. Anyways, I would put the steak sides up there too with that question. If you really want to get to know the kind of person someone is, I always, right off the bat, always go cream spinach. I always get the cream spinach.
I love it.
I always get the cream spinach because you know what it is about the cream spinach? It's like every restaurant does it different. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Every restaurant does the cream spinach different. And I want to find the best cream spinach out there because some places they fucking blow at making the cream spinach.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had some it tastes like farts. You ever have a bad cream spinach?
Also, too, with the cream spinach, it's not something I wouldn't order a cream spinach at a Cheesecake Factory.
Never.
If you go to a nice steakhouse, you would expect them to do the cream spinach right.
Yes. But sometimes. So, and I'm not going to name any names, but there's some pretty primo steakhouses that I've been to where I would have thought that the cream spinach would have lit me up, and it just did the exact opposite.
It's devastating when it doesn't.
It's devastating. And the second one, and not many steakhouses offer this, but if you do, I would encourage you, anyone listening, to really try it out. I like the truffle fries. I like the truffle fries as a side, but if they don't have that, I'll either get the mashed potatoes, okay,
sure.
Or the long cut steak fries. You ever get the long cut steak fries?
Absolutely.
I like cutting into the steak, right? Taking a bite of the steak, saying, "Wow, that was fucking great," and then washing it down with something fried. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then
I think it complements it very well.
you want to go soft texture, then you hand on over, you bring that fork over to the cream spinach.
You take your fork, you go about 4 inches to the left, and then you pick up some cream spinach, and it just cleanses the palate, ready for the next bite.
See, I would think at the steakhouse you got to have a potato in there. You have to.
You have to. You can't go to a steakhouse without a potato.
No,
Okay?
have to. And by the way, I'm right with you with the cream spinach. I'm right there on the side. You can't go
I knew you
wrong.
were. I knew you were.
Cream spinach, got to be there with the steakhouse side. Number two, I'm going with the potato too. However, I like the home fries at the steakhouse. Sear that sucker up top. Give me a well done home fry.
Yeah.
Sear that sucker on top.
Yep. Talk to me.
That's what I'm looking for at the steakhouse. I would prefer that potato. You get that home fry. You get the home fries for breakfast too. But at a nice steakhouse, if they do home fries right, if they do cream spinach right, you're in a real good shape to have a good dinner.
Yep.
Real good shape.
100%. I like the home fry. I like the home because it's a potato.
It's a potato. You gotta have a potato.
You gotta have a potato.
Sear that sucker up top.
Sure
those.
Yeah. Oh, I like that you said that you wanted the home fries well done, because that's how I like my home fries. I like my home fries well done on any occasion, whether I'm having eggs, whether I'm having steak, anything. But let me tell you something. If you go to a steakhouse, okay, and the person you're with doesn't want to starch to go with their steak,
you got issues.
You got issues.
You got big.
But it's not like I can't be with hanging out with this person. But it's like, what are you doing? It's like
totally.
You're not no proper steak etiquette. You know what I mean? You need.
Another thing that you've said in prior Pantry Boys when we were doing the IG lives, which is so true, is there ain't nothing like starting off with a wedge.
Oh, there's nothing like.
There's nothing like starting off.
It sets the tone.
Sets the tone.
You know what it's like. The wedge is like going to the driving range, okay, and taking out the sand wedge as your first couple of swings. Getting them nice and high. Sure. It's like BP, when you go take BP. Back when I was playing, you pepper a couple opposite field. Okay.
Yeah.
Get a feel for the barrel. Get a feel for the,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
You get a feel for the swing, right? And
then, you can go opposite field.
Yeah. You show them, and then, okay, after you take your first round, then you start pulling them over the left field wall. Okay?
Totally. That's
what the steak does. That's when the cream spinach comes
in.
Yeah, but you set the tone with the nice wedge.
Just pepper it right side of the field.
Right side over the second baseman's head.
Nice inside out if you have to.
Yeah, yep.
Gotta have the wedge.
Gotta.
We did Sweet Tooth. We went to the steakhouse. Talk dirty to me, Meats. What do you got for us?
This one, okay. I have my answer, and I gotta explain it rather. Like I just had to tell you what is the most gets the job done kind of food. Like what food do you feel like you say got the job done? Like it's not gonna knock your socks off. It's not gonna it's not gonna be unedible or whatever the fuck the word is. But like you're in a crunch. You need to get something in the system, and it just gets the job done.
I would actually, something that I could always rely on to be good. There's better ones than the other. It's not a main dish. I'm actually going back. I'm going to go with the French fry. I've never had a bad French. Sure.
I'm saying any food, like you're in a rush, not at a restaurant, like just in general. Are you still sticking with the French fry? That's fine. I get it.
I'd go with it would either be the French fry or another thing you can't go wrong with is pizza.
Yes.
There's better pizza than other pizza, but I could put in a Red Baron frozen pizza and have full faith in it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Rely on go-to food.
Yeah, I would get the job done.
Yeah, I would either go with the French fry. I don't think I've ever had a bad French fry. There's better French fries than other. I've also never had. I mean, there's better slices than other. No question
but
about
any pizza is good pizza. I don't care what anybody says. Any pizza is good.
Totally.
Pizza,
so to answer your question, I would stick, especially for like an entree type pizza, can't go wrong.
Okay. See, my headspace was more in like I'm in a rush and I need to get something in. I'm probably not going to eat for a couple hours, so I just need to get something in, and I need to just satisfy my hunger. And for me, I really enjoy the soy sauce flavored almonds. You ever had those soy sauce flavored almonds?
No, but there are so many different
The
almond
bold
cashew.
almonds, the bold almonds. I mean, and it just satisfies every
Oh,
hunger.
are you talking about the wasabi
The
almonds?
wasabi,
The
the
wasabi.
wasabi.
But by the way, make sure you got a water next to you. Not that they're spicy,
but it gets in the nose. It gets in the nose.
It does. There is nothing that gets in the nose quite like a wasabi. From the first almond, it's in the nose.
I always tell people, I say, listen, your sinus is clogged. Put a couple of wasabi almonds in there. Put a couple of wasabi almonds in there. Pepper in a couple of wasabi almonds. Okay? Just a couple of them. Just a nice little handful. They'll get the sinuses clean. No problem. The wasabi almond.
You got a cold. You got a fever. Pepper in a couple.
Pepper in a couple of the wasabi almonds. Okay? You don't need the cough syrup. You don't need nothing. No Vicks Vapor Up. Just a couple wasabi almonds. Just throw it in there.
You know what's so funny though, Meats? Like we're choking around, but at the same time, if I actually did have a cold, or the next time I have a cold, I will eat a wasabi onion to see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. 100%.
Because I think after you do that, you could fly a plane through my nostrils. I think it is just wide open. You know, it just clears it.
And the crazy part is, Bob, nothing comes out. You know what I mean? Like you would think there's all that shit built up in the nose, right? From you having like boogers, you're sick. You put a couple of salt. It's like it just dissolves in the nose. Nothing ever exit the nose, and that's why I love the wasabi almond, because it does more than one thing. It satisfies your hunger. It's good.
Some of the
the shit in your nose.
I'll tell you, it's fantastic because the people out there, and it might be a small percentage that have
very small percent. Yes,
exact wasabi almonds, the almonds that we're talking about.
Yes,
will know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Meats.
This is why
we do it.
Because you know what, Bob? Because now someone listening to this is going to say, you know what? I'm going to go into the supermarket right now. I'm going to get myself some wasabi almonds. And I'm going to see I had the sniffles today. I'm going to get the wasabi almonds.
I am so curious now. Honest to God, if I have a cold, I will be so curious to get the wasabi almonds.
Oh, you have to.
By the way, the amount of different cashews and almonds that are out there, Cajun style.
I like a cashew though.
I love it. I
mean, you want to talk about nuts? Well, a cashew is a legume.
Oh,
you know
I love a good cashew.
I love a good cashew.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I love a good cashew.
Speaking of Trader Joe's, go to the Trader Joe's. They have a section just for cashews and almonds.
Yes. And you know, those aren't considered nuts. They're considered legumes.
What do you mean? They're called what?
It's
what?
It's not a nut.
What is a cashew? It's not a what did you call it?
A legume.
What the fuck is a legume? What are you talking about? You come up with some of this shit. It's like you're like Jersey Jerry, man.
No, it's a real thing.
I don't know where you get some of this stuff. You come at me with the whoopie pie. What the fuck? It's a lagoon.
Legume with an M.
What the fuck is a legume? And then I feel like the idiot for not knowing.
I can't breathe.
If I go to Trader Joe's and ask for the legume section, this guy's going to look at me like I got 5 heads. If you see my forehead, I have about 5 of them. But what the fuck is a legume?
I don't know, but it's a real thing. I think it's like a bean, and I think the cashews are nuts. They're legumes, and because I was sitting at the dinner table with my sister, and we were talking about. I said, "Well, the cashews, I think, are the best nuts out there." And my sister corrected me. She said, "Well, they're really not a nut. They're a legume."
Your sister was tripping balls at the time, and now you look like the Benny the Jet, our producer. We're gonna fact check this legume thing, and we're gonna come back.
No, it's a legume. I'm telling you, I looked it up. It's a legume. I think it's like a bean.
For episode 4, in fact, and if I'm wrong, shame on me. But right now, I think you look ridiculous.
No, I think it's a legume.
And a tough act, a very, very tough act to follow. We're closing down here. We're gonna gather ourselves here from the lagoons. They're fucking nuts. All right, you're nuts. The last one, number 4 here to close us down. Okay.
Okay.
Nicky Meats, I'd like to know your most underrated starter, appetizer, starter, however you word it. Oh, did he gather himself real fast? Oh, did he gather himself? He came together real fast. He just gained consciousness. Nicky Meats.
I know exactly what I'm going to say. I
Give
have
me-
it. I have it.
so
The most
ready.
underrated appetizer. I'm going to order it 100% of the time. If it's on the menu, I'm ordering it.
I'm so
is the
fired up.
fried pickle.
The fried pickle.
Let me tell you something about
I'm glad you went exotic. I'm
It's
glad
a
you went exotic.
It's a beautiful, beautiful concept. You want to know why it's a beautiful concept? Because you take something like a pickle, okay? And those of you who like pickles, there's no in between. You either can't stand pickles or you fucking love
There's
pickles.
no in betweeners on
Okay,
pickers.
and I'm a huge pickle advocate. Okay, I love myself a nice, crisp, hard dill pickle. I light up when I see that there's fried pickles because you take the vinegar, right? You take that because it's almost refreshing in a sense. When you get a perfect dill pickle, Bob, it's almost like you just ran 5 miles in the fucking desert.
And in a way, it's like a palate cleanser.
It's
in a way.
palate cleanser. The pickle is the most versatile, most amazing thing that I honestly, besides like real food, like a side, like I'll sit at 12:30 at night and I'll crush 3 or 4 dill pickles and I follow it up with a nice thing of seltzer. You ever do that? That'll light you.
No, that seems like a wild combo.
It's fucking great. I mean, it's fucking great. Anyways, it's like, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but it's the vinegar combated with the crispiness and the fried taste of being deep fried, and then you throw in like a nice chipotle aioli to complement it all together. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Now, and I totally agree with you, Meats. I totally agree. And I'm not a huge pickle guy, but I'm a big fried pickle guy.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll turn. Yep. Go ahead.
But I'm looking for a little more of that white sauce, whatever that white sauce is.
Whatever that white sauce.
That's what I'm looking for in the fried.
And you know what? I'm going to come clean, and I'm going to say that I was thinking about the white sauce, but I didn't know what kind of sauce it was, so I just went with the chipotle aioli. But that white sauce, whatever the fuck that thing is,
totally agree. I totally.
It just ties it in so. It's a very unique taste, Bob.
Meats,
it's a very, very unique taste.
I think a lot of episodes we've had, we do disagree on some stuff. I really don't disagree with you on anything yet.
And today was a good episode, Bob.
Today was a very good episode.
Today was a very good episode. We didn't disagree on pretty much anything.
Yeah, very good episode. I'm going to close it down, and I'm glad that you went with exotic. If there's going to be a time where we're going to disagree,
I want to hear what you got.
It might be this. It might be this. Out of the gate, appetizer. You don't see it often, which why I think it's underrated. Kind of like that palate cleanser, really gets you going, doesn't stuff you up.
Okay.
I'm actually going with the artichoke, which also has that white sauce. I don't know if it's the same white sauce.
Yes.
You know, you get it at the end. You got the way you eat it. It's like that oyster type feel. Get it from the tip. It gets you going. It gets some of that. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot going on.
There's a lot. Exactly. There's a lot going on with the artichoke.
It's like a little pop rock. It just kind of gets the mouth.
Yep. Right here. Right here. Yep. Yeah.
Tingling and stuff.
Yeah. Right in here.
The artichoke is a great starter.
It's a great starter. But you know what it is too? I feel like the artichoke is a lot of people get scared by the artichoke. A lot of people see the artichoke. It's a frightening piece of food.
Frightening food.
Yeah, because when you see it, you just don't know how to attack it. Okay, because it looks like a flower. You know what I mean? It's like, how the fuck am I gonna eat this thing? You know what I'm saying? When you see the artichoke, you know the heart starts racing because you don't know how you're gonna eat this thing. You know what I'm saying? But once you get over that fear and you really dive into the artichoke, okay, and you really start to experiment with everything that thing's got to offer, because you could do a lot with an artichoke. Okay, you could do a ton with an artichoke, and you really start to experience the beautiful things that the artichoke has to offer. I mean, it's really a great answer, because not a lot of people are willing enough to get over the fear. Get over
it is such a scary item.
It's a scary item.
Very scary. And by the way, to cook, I wouldn't imagine how you go about leave the artichoke to the restaurants, leave it to the professionals. We got no business getting
no business getting into the artichoke. No business getting into the artichoke. I mean, I see the artichokes in the food section at the supermarket, and I honestly don't even look in that direction because I know I got no business, ever putting that thing on in my car. And let me tell you something too. If you go to a fancy restaurant and they do all this fucking crazy shit with the food, you order an artichoke, they're gonna give you that artichoke full like this. They're gonna give it to you. They're not gonna help you out. They're gonna make it look as scary as possible, okay? And they're gonna basically give you the artichoke and say, "Figure it out." And I think that's where a lot of restaurants go wrong because people don't.
If you learn anything from us from the Pantry Boys, take this: do not fear the artichoke. The artichoke is your friend.
Yes.
It's a lot. It can be overwhelming.
Yes.
Do not fear.
Yes.
The artichoke.
It's like flying first class. It really is. Getting the artichoke on the menu is flying first class. I'm telling you. It's an experience.
Don't fear it. I really want you folks to take that away from today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we do it weekly. We have a ball doing it. Food take after food take. We love food. You love food. We will see you next time on the Pantry Boys. KFC Barstool joined us today. And by the way, Nicky Meats, call me.
Do you hear that?
Call me crazy.
Can you hear that over there?
But the people are talking.
I think the people are talking.
The people are talking. That does it here.
Talking.
For another episode of the Pantry Boys, Nicky Casano, Robert Berger. We'll see you next time on the Pantry Boys.